For 15 years, San Diego accountant Maria Purser has been using Intuit's TurboTax software to help her immigrant parents prepare their 1040 tax returns. It's been a bit of an ordeal, since her Venezuelan parents, now in their late 70s, are more comfortable in Spanish than English and have wanted Purser to translate and explain everything, no matter how complicated. Because they're elderly, they always want to know every single detail. They don't want to feel like they're being scammed, says Purser, 47. If you don't understand what you're doing, it makes it more difficult to trust that you will get the guaranteed refunds. Her dad, as a retired electrical engineer, naturally likes to understand how things work. With the April 15th tax filing deadline looming, Purser expects things will be easier this weekend when she sits down with her parents to do their taxes. That's because she'll be using a new Spanish-language version of the tax software, one that includes every bit of help, explanations and resources that TurboTax's English-language products do, thanks to a big artificial intelligence-enabled translation push. It's going to be smoother because for once we'll be talking only in Spanish. They'll be reading along and not having to rely on what I say, Purser says. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, 68 million U.S. residents spoke a language other than English at home in 2019. Of that total, 42 million were Spanish speakers, up from 11 million in 1980. More than 1 in 5 of at-home Spanish speakers said they spoke English either not well, or not at all. Throw in some complicated tax and financial terms, and doing a tax return in English could be overwhelming for millions. How much of your Social Security benefits are taxable? Try explaining the bizarre formula to any retiree in their native language, let alone one in which they're less than fluent. The IRS was initially slow to meet the needs of non-English speakers. It provided at least some information in Spanish as early as 1972, but didn't make the basic Form 1040 with instructions fully available in Spanish until the 2020 tax filing year. For that same year, it also introduced Schedule LEP in Spanish and English. When filed with a tax return, it allows taxpayers to indicate an other than English language preference for IRS-issued written communications. This isn't just about immigrants. It took a lawsuit by the National Federation of the Blind for the traditionally service-challenged IRS to agree in 2020 to develop a process for taxpayers to request post-filing tax notices in formats such as Braille and large print. But more recently, the IRS has made a real effort to ramp up services for traditionally underserved taxpayers, including bilingual ones. It now issues a total of 142 tax forms, instructions, and publications in Spanish, still just a fraction of the more than 2,000 in English.